Hello friends, welcome to my channel. So today we are going to start with a fresh new chapter. Okay, that is the name of the chapter is comparing quantities. Okay, so we as students or as kids, we tend to compare many things, right? Can you please name a few? Like for example, we compare our height with our friend's height, correct? And then what else do we compare? We compare the speed in which we run to the speed in which our friend runs. Okay, and another thing is we compare the distance from our house to the school to the distance from our friend's house to the school. Okay, so these are certain things which we tend to compare. Okay, or else at home we compare the number of chocolates we have to the number of chocolates our brother or our sister has. Correct? So these are the things which we tend to compare. Okay, but have we ever noticed something? That is we compare the number of chocolates which we have to the number of chocolates which our friend has or which our brother or sister has. Do we compare the number of chocolates which we have to the height of our friend? Do we compare that? No, we don't compare. That means that for comparing two quantities, the quantities or the two quantities should be of the that too, we can compare two heights only if they both are in centimeters or if they both are in feet. Okay, so if we cannot compare the height of one kid in centimeter to the height of another kid in feet. Okay, so both has to be in the same unit. Okay, so in this chapter we are going to see three methods in which we can compare two quantities. Okay, so what are the three methods? First one is ratio. Okay, first is ratio. Second is proportion. And the third one is percentage. Okay, so let's take one by one. Okay, so first I will explain the basic concepts so that it will be easy for us to when we are going to solve the exercise problems. Okay, so in this video we will be seeing the basic concepts or introduction to all these things. Okay, so first let's take ratio. Okay, what do you mean by ratio? For example, suppose Ram has 10 mangoes. Okay, Ram has 10 mangoes and Sita has 20 mangoes. Okay, Ram has 10 mangoes and Sita has 20 mangoes. So, what is the ratio of the mangoes which Ram has to the mangoes which Sita has? So, we can write the ratio as 10 is to 20, right? This is to is the sign for ratio, okay? Or this can also be written as 10 by 20, okay? So, ratio can also be written in the form of fraction. So, what is this 10 by 20 means? 1 by 2, correct? So, this 1 by 2 can be written as the ratio 1 is to 2, okay? So, the ratio of mangoes which Ram has to the mangoes which number of mangoes which Sita has can be written as 1 is to 2. What if they ask what is the ratio of number of mangoes which Sita has to the number of mangoes which Ram has? It will be just the opposite, right? So first they are asking for Sita. So 2 is to 1. Okay, so it all depends on the question. Okay. Next we are going to learn about a new term in ratios, okay, which is known as equivalent ratios. Okay. What do you mean by equivalent ratio? See, we have already learned about equivalent fractions, right? When are two fractions said to be equivalent fraction? When the standardized form of two fractions are the same, or standard form of two fractions are the same, they are said to be equivalent fraction. For example, 2 by 3 and 4 by 6. These two are equivalent fractions, right? Because if we take the standard form of this, it will also become 2 by 3, correct? So these fractions are called equivalent fractions. So similarly, equivalent ratios are also the same. Okay, so let's see what is equivalent ratios. So if we take the same example, see, they would have given two ratios, okay, and they will ask whether these two ratios are equivalent or not. Okay, for example, let's take the same example, 2 by 3 and 2 is to 3 and 4 is to 6. Okay, so these two ratios are given. Okay, so we have to find whether these two are equivalent or not. Okay, so how to find it? First, write the fractional form of this, 2 by 3 and 4 by 6. Okay, now convert this into its standard form. This is already in its standard form or simplest form. This 4 by 6, if we convert into standard form, you will get 2 by 3. Okay, so since these both are equal, these two ratios are said to be equivalent ratios. Okay, so now let's take another example. 2 is to 3 and 6 is to 24. So if you take these two ratios, how will you find whether these two are equivalent or not? See, first again, write this in its fractional form, 2 by 3 and 6 by 24. How can you reduce this 6 by 24? If we cut this, you will get 6 fours are 24. So 1 by 4. So 1 is 2 is to 3 and the other one becomes 1 is to 4. So are these two equal? No, they are not equal. That means that these two ratios are not equivalent. Clear with the equivalent ratios? Okay, now we will go on to our next topic, that is proportion. Now we are just dealing with the basics of all these things. We will solve the exercise problems after discussing the basic concepts. Okay, so we have already seen the ratio part. Now the second one which we are going to see is proportion. Okay, now where do you use this proportion? Okay, one example is while drawing the map. Okay, India map or world map or even Tamil Nadu map. We are going to draw the map in a piece of paper, right? So we cannot take the same distance, actual distance which is there, correct? It will be actually thousands of kilometers, but we cannot represent the same distance in a small piece of paper. Okay, so we will have to reduce the distance. Okay, but when we are reducing the distance or making a miniature form of the real thing, all the dimensions should be the same, correct? For example, we are going to draw a plot of land which is already there in a piece of paper. Okay, so let this be the plot of land. Okay, here this side is actually 100 feet and this side is actually 10 feet. Okay, now this 100 feet we cannot draw in a piece of paper. Okay, so what we will do is we will give a key here. See, we will first draw a figure and give a key here like 1 centimeter in the paper corresponds to 10 feet in the ground. Okay. So what will this side be? 100 feet. See, 1 centimeter corresponds to 10 feet. So this is 10 feet. So this should be 1 centimeter. This is 100 feet. So this should be 10 centimeter. Okay. So they will draw accordingly. Okay. So if somebody sees 1 centimeter in the paper, they will just check for the key. So 1 centimeter represents 10 feet. That means that this side is actually 10 feet. Okay. So this is called proportion. This figure is proportionate to the actual thing. Okay. This is called proportion. So what can we write? Actual length by actual breadth. Actual length by actual breadth is equal to length in paper by breadth in paper. Okay, actual length by actual breadth equal to length in paper by breadth in paper. See, what is actual length? 100 feet. So we can write 100 feet by 10 feet equal to 10 centimeter by 1 centimeter. Okay, so you will get 10 is equal to 10, which is correct. Okay, so for two things to be proportionate, each and every parameter of one thing should be proportionate to the other one. Okay, clear with this proportion? Okay, now we'll go on to our next topic. Now we'll move on to our next topic, that is percentage. Okay, what do you mean by percentage actually? This is one word which we come across every now and then in our life. Okay, so what do you actually mean by percentage? Cent means what? 100. Okay, percent means how many quantities out of 100. Okay, that is what is mean by percentage. For example, there are 100 students in a class. Okay, 100 students in a class. 30 are boys and 70 are girls. Okay, so what is the percentage of what percentage of boys are there in the class? What is the percentage of boys? Okay, so how do you find it? 30 by 100 or 30%. Okay, 30% of the class are boys. Okay, what about girls? 70 by 100, that is 70% of the class are girls. Okay, now this is when they have given out of 100. Okay, sometimes there will be cases where the total number of things are not 100. Okay, for example, there are 20 caps. Okay, there are 20 caps in a basket. 12 are green caps and 8 are blue caps. Okay, so we have to find the percentage of green caps and the percentage of blue caps. Okay, but the total number of caps are not 100, right? 20. So how do we find this? See, this is the way. So to find the percentage of green caps, we have to first see the number of green caps, which is 12. Okay, so write 12 divided by, how much is the total number of caps? 20, correct? So 12 by 20 into 100. Okay, so 6, so 60%. Okay, 60% of the caps are green. Similarly, how do you find the percentage of blue caps? Number of blue caps is 8 by total number of caps is 20 into 100. 40% of the caps are blue and 60% of the caps are green. So clear with this percentage concept? Okay. Next is conversion from decimals or fraction to percentage and percentage to decimals or fraction, which is very easy. Okay. So what should we do if we want to convert a fraction to a percentage? For example, they have given 5 by 20 is a fraction. Okay. This we have to convert to percentage. So how do we do? We just have to multiply by 100. Okay. So answer is 25. Okay. 25%. Again, take a decimal. For example, 0.52. If we want to convert this into percentage. Okay. Again, what we have to do? We have to multiply this by 100. Okay. What will happen if you multiply by 100? Decimal point will shift to 2 decimals, right? To the right. So the answer is 52%. Clear? So whenever we want to convert decimals or fractions into percentage, we have to multiply by 100. Okay. Similarly, when we want to convert percentage to decimals or fraction, for example, 64%, we have to convert to fractions and decimals. Okay. So how do you convert 64% to decimals? See, we have to divide by 100. Okay, so what is the answer? 0.64 is the answer. Okay, again to fractions also the same thing, right? This is a fraction, 64 by 100. So percentage to decimals or fraction, we have to divide by 100. Decimals or fraction to percentage, we have to multiply by 100. Clear? It is very easy, right? Now there are a few more examples which are solved in the textbook. We will be solving all of them or similar problems when we are doing the exercise problems. Okay. Now we will go on to our next topic. Okay. What is the next topic? See, suppose we are going to buy a biscuit from a shop. Okay. So where will the shopkeeper get the biscuit from? He's not bringing it from his home, right? So he will be getting the biscuit packet from a factory. Okay. So, for getting that biscuit packet from the factory, he has to pay a certain amount. Correct? After that, he will have the biscuit packet in the shop, in his shop. And he will sell those packets to the customers or to us. Okay? Suppose the customer has paid 10 rupees for one packet of biscuit to the factory. Okay? And he has bought the biscuit packet. And he is going to sell it to the customers now. If he is selling the packet to the same 10 rupees or to a lesser amount, will he get any money? Like if he is getting it for 10 rupees and if he is selling the biscuit packet for the same 10 rupees, what is his profit? He doesn't get any profit, right? He is not doing a social service over here, right? So, he should get some profit. Okay? So, for that what he will do is, he will sell the biscuit packet to a higher amount. Okay? For example, if he is getting the packet for 10 rupees, he will sell the packet for 12 rupees. Okay? So, how much money is he getting from one packet of biscuit? He is getting 2 rupees, right? 12 minus 10 is 2. Correct? Now, this 10 rupees which he is paying to the factory to get the biscuit is called cost price. Cost price. Okay? This 12 rupees which he is getting from the customers, okay, while selling his biscuit is called selling price. Okay, selling price. This 2 rupees which is getting out of it is called profit. Okay, this is his profit. Okay, these three are the important things which you have to know. Okay, now what can we say? The selling price we can say is equivalent to cost price plus profit. Correct? Selling price is equal to cost price plus profit. Okay? Suppose if he is selling it for 8 rupees. He got the biscuit packet for 10 rupees and he is selling it for 8 rupees. Will he get profit or will he get loss? He'll be in loss, right? So what is the loss? Again, since he got it for 10 rupees and he sold it for 8 rupees, loss is what? 2 rupees, right? 10 minus 8 is equal to 2 rupees is the loss. Correct? So we can also say that selling price is equal to cost price minus loss. Okay? So clear till now? Okay. Next we are going to see profit percentage and loss percentage. Okay? How to calculate the percentage of profit and percentage of loss. Okay? So let's take the same example. That is cost price is equal to 10 rupees. That is the shopkeeper got the biscuit for 10 rupees. That is the cost price. Okay? Selling price is 12 rupees. He sold the biscuit for 12 rupees. Okay? And the profit is 2 rupees. Now we have to calculate the profit percentage. Okay? So profit percentage or loss percentage are always calculated based on cost price. Okay? So just keep this in mind. So how to calculate it? Profit percentage is equal to profit by cost price into 100. Okay? So this formula you will have to remember. So what is the profit percentage in this case? Profit is what? 2 divided by cost price is 10 into 100, which is equivalent to 20% is the profit percentage. Similarly, what is the loss percentage? Loss divided by cost price into 100. So if you are taking loss of 2 rupees, that is he has sold the biscuit for 8 rupees. So what is the loss percentage? Loss is 2 rupees by cost price is 10 rupees into 100. Again 20% is the loss percentage. Clear with this? With these two? Profit percentage and loss percentage. Both are calculated based on cost price. Okay, we need not take selling price here. Both are calculated based on cost price. Now let's move on to our next topic, which is simple interest. Okay, so what do you mean by simple interest? Suppose we are taking a loan from a bank. Okay, so we are in need of some money. So we are going to a bank and asking for a loan. For example, just say we are taking a loan of 1000 rupees. Just for example, I am saying. Okay, so the bank will say, okay, I will give you 1000 rupees. But you have to return this in a span of 2 years, for example. Okay, but will they ask you to return the same amount, 1000 rupees? Then what is the profit for bank? Right? So what they will do is, they will tell you, okay, you are in need of money now, I will give you 1000 rupees. But after 2 years, you have to give me 1100 rupees, for example. Okay? So the bank has paid us 1000 rupees. We have to pay back 1100 rupees to the bank. Okay? So that 100 rupees is called the interest which the bank is taking. Okay? So what we will do is, the bank will not tell you the exact amount. Okay? because the amount of or the loan which into each individual take is different, right? Some people may take 1 lakh rupees, some people may take 10 lakh rupees. So it depends on the individual. So bank will say, okay, I'll give you how much ever amount you want, but you will have to pay me 5% of interest. Okay, so they will say you will have to give me 5% of interest. Okay, so we are now going to see how to calculate the interest amount if they are giving you the rate of interest. This is called the rate of interest. Okay, this percentage of interest is called the rate of interest. Okay, now the amount which we are taking from the bank, okay, for example 1000 rupees which we have seen in our example, that amount is called the principal amount. Okay, so principal amount. Okay, now the amount which we are going to return to the bank is called the amount. Okay, so you don't get confused between these two. Principal is the money which the bank is giving us, and amount is the money which we are going to pay the bank finally. Okay, so what we are going to do is, we are going to see a formula for simple interest. Okay, now the formula is principal, that is P into R by 100 if it is for 1 year. Okay, if you are taking a loan for 1 year, okay, you are telling I'll return back the amount, I'll return back the money in 1 year. Then the interest is P into R by 100. Okay, for example, if P is 1000 into 5 is the rate of interest which we have discussed, right? So 1000 into 5 by 100, which is 50. So 50 rupees is the interest. Okay, so if you are taking it for 1 year. Okay, now sometimes we will take the loan for more than 1 year, for example 2 years or 3 years, like that. Okay, in that case what we have to do is simple interest equal to P into T into R by 100. Okay, this T represents the time or the number of years. Okay, this P represents the principal and R represents the rate. Okay, suppose we have taken the amount of the principal of 1000 rupees for P is equal to 1000, for example, and T is equal to 2 years. Okay, and R is equal to 5% interest. Now the simple interest can be calculated as 1000 into 2 into 5 by 100, which is equivalent to 20. 20 into 5 is 100. 100 rupees is the simple interest. Okay. Now how much will be returned? We have calculated the simple interest here, right? They are asking, the question is, principal is 1000 rupees and the rate of interest is 5% for 2 years. How much amount you have to return to the bank after 2 years? So how will you do it? See, now we have got the simple interest as 100 rupees for 2 years, right? For 2 years. And principal is equal to 1000 rupees. Correct? Now we have to find amount which we have to give to the bank after 2 years. How will you do that? A is equal to 1000, which is the principal, plus the interest, that is 100, which is equivalent to 1100 rupees, is what we have to give to the bank after 2 years. If it is 3 years, then again this will change. Okay? So, this is how we have to calculate this simple interest. Clear with this? Okay. We'll see the exercise problems in the next video. Okay? Bye-bye.